Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match here at the Rose Cup. We've got Team Direwolves versus Feed Good Incorporated here in the Platinum quarterfinals. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by my color caster for the evening, Temporal. How you doing tonight, Temporal?
I'm well, thank you, Jack, and I'm really looking forward to this match tonight. This is the last of four platinum quarterfinals to go down, and we saw last night's quarterfinal between Juice Goblinos and Tokyo went to all five maps. So I'm expecting
Woohoo!
some great action tonight. A long, long match, hopefully, is on the cards for us.
Well, we definitely have an interesting matchup tonight. Team Direwolves, during their season, ended up going undefeated, 12-0 with a positive 35 map differential. Feed Good ended up going 8-4 with a positive 15. But based on their round of 12 match against the Exiles, they ended up going 3-0. So I would imagine that this is going to be hopefully a very good parallel between these two teams. So let's go ahead and introduce them. For the side of Team Direwolves, we have Destroyer and No Flex on the tanks, Akua and Fuji on the DPS, and Trust and Mookie coming in on the heels. For Feed Good Incorporated, we've got Frizzy and Sneaky Teagues on the tanks, OG Moon and Cater Tot on the DPS, and Elysian and Dragon coming in on the heels. Our first map of the evening, all of you should not be surprised to hear, it's going to be Lijiang Tower. We try to keep things simple around here. More so, everybody just seems to like that map more than the. I think the other map is
Helios.
Helios.
Yep.
Yeah, uh, the boots are just so incredibly needed, I guess. So let me go. Oh, I forget I'm in charge of this tonight because I'm also refereeing while casting. Uh, let me. Looks like
Uh, what,
everyone's ready to
while,
go. Just
while
want
you're
to make
doing that,
sure. Yep.
just an interesting stat. So far, as I said before, we've had three of the platinum quarterfinals already. The lowest seed in each quarterfinal has won that match. So while Direwolves will have the momentum of having not lost yet, um, Feed Good Inc. Has maybe statistics on their side. Currently, 100% win rating for the lowest seed. So we'll see how they go in this match as we do finally
Definitely.
load into Lijiang.
Yep. It definitely will be interesting to see our first area here at Lijiang Tower. We're going to be headed into the gardens
Gardens.
for our first map of the evening. And this is always an interesting one based on how the teams play it out. There is possible boot potential, but very rarely do you end up seeing it. And with the new change in the meta, um, with all the things that just came out on Tuesday, I'm going to be interested to see how this match ends up going down because that's not our traditional, not the traditional comps that we've seen for like the last 3 months of the regular season.
No, it's not. Though going back and looking at the previous matches we've played since the patch, while the comps are changing a little bit, we do see some consistencies. We're still seeing a lot of that Rissa Sigma being played. Teams, even if the meta does slightly shift, it will take time. They're still comfortable running those two tanks, especially if you've been playing it for the last 4 to 6 months, however long Sigma's been in the game. From a from a DPS lineup, though, we do see some changes. May, of course, staying in the meta, but we see some changes in the other DPS. Right here, we're seeing a McCree
Ooh.
versus a Pharmacy on the field.
This is definitely going to be interesting seeing how this all goes down. So let's go ahead and make our way in there.
Oh,
I hear
that's a quick
myself
pick.
echoing. Ooh, pick already. Elysian getting taken down by Destroyer, but Cater Tot returning the favor very quickly. Remember, the shields for Sigma getting halved in the recent patch, so that is absolutely huge. Far Mercy getting caught in the hole, but able to escape. As we go ahead and say, Sneaky Teagues being sneaky on the objective, getting a majority of the percentage, but now fighting for control as Aqua and NoFlex currently taking out OG Moon and Elysian. Akua going to follow up on Sneaky as Mookie taking down Dragon. The last one on the objective is Frizzy right now, trying to hold on, but ends up getting frozen out as Trust taking out that Mercy pistol. And we're going to see Control start off for Team Direwolves.
Yeah, that first pick working out perfectly for Direwolves. Once they had the player advantage, even though some trades came through from Feed Good Inc., they're able to make use of that, halve the number of the players on Feed Good Inc., and then finally take control of the point. And now with this Farret in the sky, it's going to be very difficult for Feed Good Inc. to get in there. As we see them take the outside route, using the buildings as cover here.
And as we see, Fuji does already have Barrage online. Amplification Matrix coming out for Mookie, doing some damage into those shields. The Maywall goes up to try to absorb some of that, but it's only just wasting time on the objective. 33% and climbing as we see the Coalescence come out, but here come the Bongos, as well as that Maywall trying to separate out the team. Barrage coming down from Fuji, but gets taken down by Sneaky Teeks. Not able to get another kill after that. No Flex following up on OG Moon. It's a 4v6 fight right outside the objective, but the walls are tumbling down right now. As we see Catertot, the only one left, ends up picking off Akuma, but it looks like they're going to end up getting taken down by Destroyer. 57% in climbing for Direwolves.
And Direwolves now in a really great position. They've got the ultimates to spare, and we saw Fuji in that fight was hanging around the back looking for an opportunity to use that barrage. Didn't get to use it until quite late, but it was forcing Catertot and Frizzy to be focused on the side where the Pharaoh was, and allowed Direwolves to just win out that war of attrition in the gateway, particularly once the Amplification Matrix and Bongos came out.
All right, we're seeing the Gravitic Flux come out, but so does the beat drop from Elysian. Following up, High Noon coming out from the side, trying to see if they can get a pick, but ends up getting absorbed by the Shield of Destroyer. Elysian able to take down No Flex as the Shatter coming down, also following up with the Blizzard. Gonna start cleaning things up. Everything is coming up red. Feed Good in overtime, gonna end up taking the objective and starting their percentage climb.
They were required to use all the ultimates there, but it was a kind of they had to do it. Of course, the point of build up to 99%. They do have the Coalescence in reserve, but that might be a little difficult, particularly if you're running into this Blizzard from Akua. So we see Direwolves rotating around the side. Oh, they pick off Elysian, and they've got the Blizzard as well. They can use it. If they use that in a contained space, there's not going to be anything for Feel Good to counter it.
I agree right there. The Blizzard comes down, but doesn't end up grabbing any of the members of Feed Good as they continue to fight for control of the objective. It's a 3v6 fight. Here comes the Coalescence now from Dragon, trying to hold everything together, seeing if they can get a pick off Fuji, getting ready to come up on that barrage once again, seeing if they can get Sneaky in the backline. Mookie ends up taking down Frizzy on the objective as they continue to fight for control. 47% and climbing right now as Akua able to take down Tags, and that is going to probably end up being control of the objective. Mookie does end up going down to OG Moon, but that Icicle only going to be able to hold on for so long, ends up getting halted up on the wall. It's literally helping them distract, but Mookie and Fuji able to take them down. Bongos now coming up as we see the dive coming in from Freezy and Tags. Akua able to take down Elysian with the punch, and it looks like that's going to stall out the objective. 73% lockout for the side of Feed Good as overtime ticks away 100 to 73 as the Barrage Gravitic Flux combo come out and get that double kill.
And all the work there done by Mookie in that fight. We saw them come up in the kill feed a few times, but they also used the Amplification Matrix at the start of the fight, and they had it built up again before they even flipped the point back. A lot of damage, a lot of healing coming out from that Baptiste player. Really good work from them. And we'll see what Feed Good Inc. can do now. Direwolves, they may choose to keep Fuji on this Farah for Control Center. We do see it sometimes, but no, I think they're going to be changing off.
Yep, we're going to see him swap over to the Reaper with Trust now coming in on the Lucio for that B drop. For the most part, we're seeing everything the same except for Catertot Swapping over to the Reaper as well. Dragon's going to come in on the Ana, which is interesting, but maybe that's exactly what they need. Maywall Ore coming up, Frizzy getting separated out from the rest of the team, and Destroyer is indeed destroying right there. But Cater Tot coming in to follow up. Both Rhines are out of the objective right now as OG Moon able to take down Fuji as well. It is a 4v5 fight on the objective as we just see back and forth freezing going between the maze, just freezing individual members of their team, but not being able to get the picks needed. Still fighting for control of the objective. Feedgood able to at least push off the side of Team Direwolves as Dragon able to get that kill on Aqua as they grab the objective and start their percentage climb. The battle is far from over as they continue to get pick after pick, chasing them all the way back to spawn the wall, separating them out as Tag's able to take down Trust. 15% in climbing for Feedgood Incorporated.
Yeah, OG Moon doing a really good job there. Already up to 85% onto that Blizzard. The wall's definitely coming up better in this fight as opposed to the start of the last round. And we see Frizzy, also with the Earthshatter already. So lots and lots of damage and healing coming out. Almost with the Graviton Surge as well.
That's true. Maywall coming up, separated.
Oh wow, what an Earthshatter!
Shatter! Woo! And that's all she wrote right there. That one shatter ended up isolating out so much of the team. They were able to follow up on it quickly. 50% in climbing for Feedgood Incorporated.
This is a fantastic position for them. As you said, only one ultimate invested in that fight. They've got everything else in line. They've got the Graviton Surge, they can trap them off, they can wall them off, they can blizzard them there. You see the wall come out already? The counter wall coming through from Aqua, not quite enough.
Blizzard coming down for Aqua though, the beat drop coming in from Elysian, trying to keep everybody up if at all possible, but Destroyer gonna end up taking down Frizzy as OG Moon falls to Fuji, swapping over to that Hanzo. NoFlex is gonna take down Elysian as well as they continue to fight their way into the objective. The only two left are Dragon and Cater Tot, but they're gonna slowly get followed up upon. 84% rather for the side of Feedgood Incorporated as we see it swap over to control for Team Direwolves.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Feedgood there. They had the positioning and the ultimates. Unfortunately, Aqua was definitely the I'm trying to think of a metaphor. Aqua screwed them up with the wall and the blizzard there. And we see opening up again on Elysian.
Oh, the Nano now coming in on to Tags, looking to see if they can get a pick. Ends up taking down NoFlex, but the bongos that came out from NoFlex right before are going to continue to allow them to pick off the rest of the team. 30% in climbing for Team Direwolves.
Oh yeah, we see OG Moon hanging out up the top, just waiting for the rest of their team to make their way to the point. Unfortunately, with this May up in the control point, there's not going to be any wall available for them to use to try and get in here.
Nope, that's
there will
true.
be a wall from the defensive team, but it's not enough. It only blocks out Dragon.
I think they're looking to try to use the Blizzard from behind, maybe, seeing if they can separate out the team, but it looks like they're going to end up just moving them to the objective. Direwolves Ore calling out that May as they go ahead and move in. Ore separated out. Here comes the Blizzard looking to get the tanks, but we're going to see Trust come out with the Transcendence there. Blossom comes out, ends up getting Destroyer, but we're going to see Cater Tot and Frizzy fall soon after that. Ultimates essentially just being wasted right there, not able to follow up on those picks. Mookie and NoFlex going to go ahead and follow up on those final kills, meeting up percentage with the side of Feedgood Incorporated. 90% and climbing right now for Direwolves.
And no ultimates to speak of from the side of Feedgood. I like what they tried to do in that last fight, but they took too long and allowed Trust to build up that Transcendence. And now they're running into a Blizzard.
Whoa! They got past the Blizzard and the Shatter and still made it to the objective, but it's not gonna be enough. Unfortunately, it was a good haul to the objective. I honestly don't know how they got through both those ults without being hit by that. But we're going to go ahead and see Team Direwolves take away the first map of the evening here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, ultimately it came down to Direwolves' ability, their coordination and their ability to use ultimates. As you see Frizzy's Earth Shatter, that was a monster shatter there. What that was really where Figa were in control, and I think that was the last fight they had any semblance of control on that map, really. So yeah,
Pretty
so from the side of
much.
Direwolf, saw some great work from Akiwa. Fantastic walls coming out. Great use of Blizzard as well, holding it for the right time, and they're able. The rest of the team was able to follow up on those frozen players, get the kills, and that's what allowed them to push through and eventually take out the map.
I agree with you there. I'm gonna have to swap some things over and invite some people for the next map. So, um, go ahead and let us know in the chat who y'all are rooting for this evening. Temporal, why don't you go ahead and uh, break down some of the details you might not have been able to during this last match?
So we saw OG Moon was hanging out above the point on the control center there. It was a good idea that came out, but unfortunately, because the May was split out,
Say,
unfortunately,
go
because the
ahead.
May was split out from the rest of their team, they didn't have any counter to the wall coming in from Akua. So while the pincer movement would have been great, particularly if you get the Blizzard coming in from behind, there was no counters, no Diva, no Sigma. There's no chance of denying the Blizzard from Feetgood. Unfortunately, it was very difficult for them to even get into the point in the first place. And it took them so long to make it through the door, to make their way around onto that raised area where the stairs come down to the point, that Trust was able to build up a transcendence. And that entire play, while giving over 30 to 40% of point capture towards Direwolves, ended up being for naught because the transcendence was there to instantly cut it out. Yes, we saw, I think it was Catertot get a kill off the Death Blossom. But again, they had the transcendence there. Everyone else was staying alive. They had the numbers, and in the end, Direwolves were just able to wait them out with the ultimates. They had ultimates for the next fight, and that was essentially feed goods round over after about the 50% mark.
All right. Next map is either going to be a Hanamura or Temple of Anubis. Coming into that, go ahead, start blowing up in the chat who y'all want to um, see. Which map do you want to see come out? What team you want to see come out on top? I've been seeing love for either side coming out in the chat right now. Um, it looks like
I
it
think
looks like we're getting a little bit from either side here. Some going for Direwolves as a seven Tura, and Burger Man given some love for tags in the chat, as well as Yoshikiki for Feed Good. So definitely interesting to see here. Um, just give us a moment, folks. We're just trying to figure out. Apparently, with the new patch, also came some issues with inviting people to matches and whatnot. So, as soon as we get that figured out and get the team set up for the next match, we'll go ahead and get things started once again. Is there anything else that you wanted to note on from the last match there, Temporal?
Not particularly. I think I know we talked about. I know I tried to play it up a bit at the start that stats wise, Feel Good might have an advantage, but Direwolves really showed why they were undefeated during this regular season. They have great coordination, great comms as well, picking out who was isolated, picking out which targets to focus on. We saw, interestingly, I think we saw Destroyer at the start of both of those rounds. Destroyer went in deep, going very aggressively on that Sigma and the Reinhardt, got the first kill. It was instantly picked in turn, and it didn't. It worked out in Direwolves' favor the first time, and Direwolves' favor the second time. So from the side of feed good, you could probably take away from that Destroyer is going to try and be aggressive. So maybe that's an area you can focus on. You can draw that tank player in, draw the Sigma, draw the Reinhardt in, and then cut them off from any healing, cut them down first, and give yourself an advantage in the fights. I think if you're aware of that, you're less likely to lose someone in the process, and you can give yourself an advantage going into these first fights on the maps, or any fights, sorry, on the maps.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. Destroyer was literally living up to their name and just going back and forth between Feed Goods players. So it looks like we're gonna go ahead and get started. Our next map of the evening gonna be Hanamura. So gonna be
Yeah, no, perhaps
go
no
ahead.
surprises here. With so far, it seems teams have been working their way down in a very consistent pattern, and Hanamura has, you know, I probably haven't a small sample size, but we've seen a lot of Hanamura.
It's kind of been back and forth on these maps. Actually,
Okay.
I've in the playoffs that I've done, at least, um, many of the ones that I've done have been Temple of Anubis, but I've been hearing that many of the others have been Hanamura. The assault maps just seem to be the ones that are very back and forth when it comes to how teams want to pick it out. I
And
guess it just
that's
comes down to some teams being better than at one map than another, I guess.
Yeah, and that's probably to be expected from a map selection like Hanamura or Temple of Anubis, both original maps, both popular maps for teams to be playing on. It's not like you get to Hybrid and you've got Kings Row and any other map, and it's just what other maps? Kings Row is the only map. Maybe you know what? When we get there, when we get to Hybrid, we should offer a choice between Kings Row and Winter Wonderland Kings Row, just for a bit of variety. But in any
Oh,
case,
we would
with
if it didn't have issues giving advantages or whatnot. Unfortunately, that's
Anyway,
the way
we're
it
seeing
is.
the defense is rolling out here. Direwolves rolling out on what is probably going to be the meta going forward. A lot of teams are running this, particularly with the Hanzo Mei as the DPS combo, and sticking with that double shield tank setup. And of course, the Baptiste and the Zen, which is nice to see Zen back in the meta for once.
And it looks like Elysian going to be swapping over to the Batiste for this time around as they try to push in the Maywall Ore separating out the team. OG Moon having to get healed up on the side, ended up getting, Frizzy getting picked off early by Trust, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and try to pull back. Dragon not going to be able to get away from that as Mookie takes them out of the fight. 3 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock.
That wall just splitting off Feed Good as they came in, and OG was forced to use the wall just to keep themselves alive once they were trapped and isolated inside. And once that happened, it was either do the rest of us come in, do we go out, and they just lost members coming in.
Yep, but now, as you see, they've swapped over to the Symmetra, so they're just going to teleport straight. Oh, wait, what? Did that end up interrupting the teleporter? Ooh, dang. Now they're like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. But now they're just going to push in with it, not even going to wait for the teleporter right there as they go ahead and make their way in. While Ore down as Dragon gets destroyed by that rock. Just absolutely takes him out.
Dragon was caught outside by the wall, so they had to run in solo, which means everyone on Direwolves was focusing them down. And that rock
Pretty
from
much. And we're seeing the Hulk come in, looking to see if they can get that pick. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock right now, and they're really trying to... Ooh! Sonic Arrow just shutting down OG Moon. Fuji making their way to the top there. Just going to start picking off whoever's on their own. And it looks like OG Moon going to swap back over to the Mei to try to be able to move in on this. But that's, again, Ultimate's wasted right there. And I'm not exactly for certain what they're going to be looking to do here. The Maywall ends up going up, allowing them to move their way into the side, but now they're just all grouped up together in that side room. I'm not...
They're about to eat a dragon, I think. Fuji's up on the top. There you go. There it goes.
Dragon
straight
coming
through.
in!
Immortality field, though.
Immortality does hold them up, so that's going to go ahead, and that's not going to be useful for them moving into this next area. The rock comes down. Dragon ends up getting off the high ground, but they're able to get away, thankfully. They're going to go ahead and jump down to regroup with Dragon. It looks like they're confused as to where everyone is right now. Amplification Matrix coming out for Elysian as Catertot getting picked up by Fuji very early in the fight. Immortality Field coming up as Fuji Sonic Arrows tags, and Mookie and NoFlex follow that up in the Amplification Matrix of their own.
Let Grandma go.
That was a 2-minute push there for the side of Feed Good, and it just all came to naught. It was just incredibly too slow right there. And now they only got 45 seconds to make it happen.
A miscommunication there from Feet Good. Dragon did get, once Dragon got away around the corner, all they had to do was come around the back and climb up the stairs around the back of that building. But I don't think they missed. I don't know, either players forgot or they panicked. So we saw the tank lines split themselves up. And once that happened, that push was all over. And now they've only got 30 seconds left, and all they have is a nano boost available.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. Moving into the objective, they're moving into the side room once again, seeing if they can take advantage of that. We got the protect coming up. Shields
Here comes
trying
the
to hold
blizzard.
on. Gravitic Flux
Oh.
gets the whole team, but doesn't end up bringing it down. Here comes the Transcendence and the Bongos, and they're all falling down. Every ultimate was used there for a team kill, and that is going to be a complete shutdown. Feed Good not even able to once touch the objective that entire match. That is incredibly impressive from the side of Direwolves.
It was very, very impressive. Fuji doing amazing work all through that map, coming around the side, getting the right flanks, getting the picks. I'm not sure Fika was ready for that. They're maybe forgetting about the mobility that Hanzo had when they spent all that time waiting in the room to the right as he come through the choke as the attackers. I don't think they remember. I don't think they realize how mobile Hanzo is. Of course, Fuji up on the high ground, picked off OG on the Symmetra, forced the swap back onto the Mei. And yeah, it was really that time they spent in that room that was, as you said, about 2 minutes wasted just sitting there. And that's 2 minutes that Direwolves didn't have to do anything. All they have to do is spam the 2-3 doors that come out of that house. And see, in the end, a very, very simple defense from Direwolves.
All right, and now we're seeing Direwolves come out with kind of a mirror composition. They have OG and Catertot coming out now on the Mei Hanzo to try to see if they can pull off a similar strat. Aqua going to be coming in now on the Symmetra to see if they can successfully pull off that teleporter strat. But it looks like they're going to set up at the choke to try to prevent them from even trying to get through. That could end up working out for them, or it could end up putting them at a disadvantage. So let's see if they can make it happen.
We'll see where they choose to use this teleport, actually. So a lot of teams try and go around. They either set up straight in front and teleport to the... Oh, yep, they're teleporting high.
The Maywall goes
hey,
up,
the Maywall's there.
Teleporter still gets in, though. It gets them to the high ground as they go ahead and try to separate out the team. Catertot getting picked off by Mookie early in the fight as the Immortality Field goes up. Ends up getting taken down by NoFlex. That's pushing them into the objective. It's a 5v6 fight right now as they continue to try to hold on. Aqua supercharged right now with that Symmetra beam. Ends up taking down 2. Destroyer following up on the rest of the team as well as Mookie. And that's game.
That is probably the quickest we could possibly do here on an assault map. Direwolves is an easy win, putting themselves up 2-0. And yeah, a very dominating performance from them. I'm pretty sure if we try and analyze this attack, it'll be longer than the attack was.
That's absolutely true. The Gravitic Flux right here was beautiful because they ended up Tegs ended up having to use the protect to be able to get to the side of the objective. And so when Destroyer ended up using the Gravitic Flux, they didn't have that protect to be able to escape from the Gravitic Flux in that way. That probably would have set them up a little bit better, but honestly, the ult advantage for the side of
Direwolves.
Team Direwolves just really set them up to continue to hold on to this objective. Do you have anything else you want to put out there before we head to halftime?
I think we've talked long enough about that attack, given how short it was.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just I was just incredibly surprised there. Direwolves not even using like a bunker composition or anything like that. Just a lot of good communication, keeping Feed Good's teammates separated out multiple times, and yeah, that's really what it ended up coming down to. So, folks, we're gonna head to a quick halftime break. We'll see you back on the other side in about 5 minutes.
And that's
Well, how about
most of the
that?
time they're all just square.
Oh, Krev getting that early.
Around, but can they teleport in? That's the main question. Can they teleport in safely? Anything happening? It looks like they want to teleport up to the far high ground here. That was such a smart play. They used
That
the
was
wall
an insane
to get
play.
that was in main, and now they're just on the point. They are walled up though. So Storm Creator is already down. stronger ones that I've seen ever. It just keeps on going with all these sustainable heroes. No clutch death loss this time for Blue though. The freeze is there on Paragon, but no one to kill him. Storm Creator and Sereniac are on the side, but they can't really get any kills out of this, it looks like. The self-destruct may be able to get someone, does get Aerosmith, but and Sereniac gets back into the well. Nexus actually falling in this time. No more Reaper. They're losing the DPS. Paragon is trying to swing around here, but Sereniac just pumps in the damage with those Diva shotguns. Osprey trying to get another boop in, but it's going to be Blue actually getting Paragon from the other angle. Blue teleporting forward, goes for a will. Can they actually get it back? It's insane. This fight is going on forever, and they catch it back. The volcanic violence.
Engage, but this is not what you want when you're going against double barrier and a huge ultimate gravitic flux from Prince Cats. He gets 3 of them with the help of his team. Awesome play there. To the rock accretion, kind of just taking a little bit damage down, and of course the first kill going to be coming over to Very Cool, who was playing on the Hanzo, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to get any picks here. Voltage doing a good work here of cleaning up the kills as this power of the Mei here, walling off connection lost, preventing them from getting onto the team. Nyquist tries to come in, gets counterpunched by No Karen. In fact, she just says no right back, and you see, damn it, Karen, wall going up, charge coming in from Despair. The power really of the combination with the Mei, and that's going to be a push to choke to hold them here.
That's really where they do well, even throwing a Meteor Strike out with the Shatter. Nice combo.
If Loco can get it off early, that's gonna be the biggest thing if they see that Nano Blade coming. And it looks like here
see
it
it
comes.
coming.
Speed drop's gonna come. Oh no! The Gravitic Flux and the Blizzard come in. Ursa able to get the double with RDK popping the Blossom.
Defense nowhere close to the defensive ultimate, so they're going to be on a little bit of pressure if that Nano Blades hits right now, and it does look like it's going to come out. Oh, it's only the Blade. The Meteor Strike gets 3% Widowmane. This is a disaster. The Blade came out, and the Nano wasn't even used with it because Rifticle was under too much pressure, so that means the Blade will get 1, maybe 2 kills, then rush in when you see an opportunity. And they're taking it a little bit slower now, so it might be good taking that advice straight away. But the Barrage!
The Rock ends up taking out the Barrage. What? That's incredible right there. Like, it's...
And we'll see that there with the Coalescence being used to try and hold it, but it's not going to work. Yes, the Bongo will take down the Fist will take down the Bongo, which is nice to see, but Maddie surprisingly going huge here, getting the kills, which is the power of Doomfist.
Idea on that one. Vaporous able to follow up there onto Lord Yukon. It's a 5v6 bag as again. Voltage, obviously, as we saw in chat, has some wings right there. Getting to the high ground, melting anyone that didn't realize that they used tank mode to get up onto that high ground. We're going to see Lord Yukon, the only one left to try to hold on to the objective, get melted by Voltage. We see the
Amping on the Desi, so it's still going to be that 5 in. The Res comes on to Bastion, so all was for naught in the end. Bab goes down. Immortality Field was dropped on the card, but it was shredded by the Bastion. Hammond just trying to install lines, but it's getting Sigma 9! That's so unfortunate.
Finds Volta and Fortal with a charge kill on Define. That's 2 quick kills, 3. This Reaper will fall. Pilot will fall as soon as they get out of this Wraith form, unless they get out with the TP. Looks like they're just going to try to stall out points as much as they can, but a quick swap at around 20%. It's going to come through for the Smilers.
Comes back with a Res, and now the Window of Pain coming down for XC. I don't think we're going to see Phantom use this barrage. Maybe he's going to drop down and use it on the tanks. He's trying to turn it around for his team, and he's able to pick off 2 with that? How does that happen?
Fight on the objective as we see the tackle come in from Captain. Ends up getting taken down by Starlock. Oh my goodness! Phantom with the triple kill starting off already, and they haven't even grabbed the objective yet. MacGyver finding themselves on the outside of the objective.
We may see a full hold on point A from them. Window of Pain going to go down in an interesting position, but there's the barrier to protect all projectiles from coming in. It's going to be the Immortality Biscuit to try to keep Scion alive, Silco, but he is in danger right now because the rest of his team is slowly falling and he's unable to protect them. Very cool. The only one left alive here.
Regroup, get some health back, and he still is just getting picked. It's an insane DPS power.
Uncontested second point capture. Blue goes down. The Shatter falls from Paragon. The Blizzard to follow it up. I don't think anyone's getting out alive over here. What a beautiful follow-up. And they have the ultimate, so why not use them? Pacifist last to fall.
Looking for it, and it's going to be really difficult for anybody to catch him out. Wait, can the Lucio see him? The Lucio sees him. The
Lucio
call's
sees him.
been made.
He's stuck in there. The nano charge. Oh, takes down the Reinhardt. Ranter with the nano boost on the Fortle. Oh, but Fortle with the double fire strike off the nano boost.
Gets revenge on Joe Biden, takes him down. The immortality field for Jacques does not last any longer. And Wooby, huge barrage, takes down 3. And we make it the 4th. There goes the 4th, and it's
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another match here at the Rose Cup. Here in the Platinum quarterfinals, we have Team Direwolves versus Feed Good Inc. Team Direwolves currently up 2-0 at the halftime break. I'm your play-by-play Captain Jack, joined by Temporal on the color tonight. Temporal, why don't you give us a quick rundown of what happened in the first half?
We've seen a very dominating performance from Direwolves. Feedgood did make a bit of progress on control. They lost 2-0, but they were able to capture the point in both rounds and make some progress. Unfortunately, it fell apart for them halfway through control center on Lijiang Tower. And from there, Direwolves took a decisive Hanamura, not even allowing Feedgood to touch the point on their own attack. And they're just blindingly fast on their way through to a attacking hold of their own. And we will move on to King's Row as the next map. No surprise to anyone anywhere who knows about teams' preferences in hybrid maps.
Pretty much.
And we'll see. Yeah, so Feedgood, this is it for them. That's make or break. They have to win this map to stay in the tournament.
Yep, this really is what it ends up coming down to. Feedgood has to get the reverse sweep. So those rooting for Feedgood, get out your brooms. Let's go ahead and get things started here for our possibly last map. As you said, we're headed to King's Row, which is no surprise to anyone. That's literally the favorite of many. Let's go ahead and see if our teams are ready to get going.
That's the same team running up twice.
Nope, yeah.
3 times. That's
All
all
right,
okay.
so it looks like we're waiting for Feedgood to go ahead and get their stuff set up. Looking in the chat, it looks like they're throwing out some Pog Kates. Kate's the secret sleeper. I heard, or I saw earlier in the chat during the first half. So, Kate, it's make or break time. I hate to say it. That's really what it's going to end up coming down to. So. Oh, a 7 Tura gifting a sub, 2 subs. Oh, goodness gracious! Thank you so much for those subs. And it looks like a 7 Tura is on that Direwolves team, just getting stuff ready to go.
As we load in, so yeah, from Feedgood, we need to see a bit more coordination out of them. The communication between the team a little bit lacking, especially we saw that particularly in Hanamura with teammates getting left behind or knocked out of position, and they weren't really sure on how to counter that. And yes, as you were saying, Kato Tot has been touted as the heroic DPS, heroic team member on that team, so they're going to have to pull out all the stops here.
And this
if they're going to make.
And this has been interesting to see, based on what I had saw from Feedgood last week. As I said, they came into the quarterfinals after a round of 12 match that ended up 3-0ing the team that they ended up facing, and they were their parallels, I believe. I think they were 8th place and 9th place. So to see kind of this reverse coming down from Direwolves. I know Direwolves are coming in as the first seed in the playoffs here, but I don't know. It just seems very, very odd coming from Feedgood after seeing their performance last week.
And you have there you go. You have on days, you have off days. Maybe the first round of playoffs, you come in, you're all excited, you're prepared, and it just works for you on one day. Then you come up against Direwolves, and maybe not feeling so hot anyway. And of course, we've talked about it. Direwolves, just well coordinated, great comms, great use of the ultimate abilities, just general all round polish, I guess, from this team. And you know what? If you're having an off day, it's very hard to counter that.
Well, I think one of the things that we continue to see here is that um, it's all comes down to coaching as well. As we see for this team, coaches, but during the breaks they've been going in, kind of letting the team know what to be looking out for, this, that, and the other thing, and that's a big help to kind of have on your side there. Being able to have someone kind of that outside perspective to be able to let you know kind of ways that you can improve, and if they've been practicing and whatnot, that's really going to help them out moving forward. As we see the teams lining up for the first attack here, it looks like we're going to see a very typical setup for the side of
Direwolves. Yes, no change.
Direwolves, yeah.
No change to the defensive setup from Hanamura here. We saw the great work that Akua was able to make. And they brought Mango in place of Fuji. We'll see how their Hanzo stacks up against Fuji's. On the attacking team, very similar from Feel Good Inc. Just a little change in the tank line. Ryan Zarya making a welcome return back here on Kings Row.
And it could be exactly what they need, especially with Destroyer and NoFlex on the Sigma Orisa. You can get past that double shield if you get aggressive. Maywall's coming up, separating out both sides of the team. First pick going to Akua right there as we see OG Moon fall, but the Fire Strike going to take down that Immortality field. Will it be enough for them to continue to hold on, though? It looks like Trust is going to end up getting that pick on Frizzy as Teg's falling to Akua, and they're just going to continue to take out the side of Feed Good as they retreat back to spawn.
Great play from Akua and Mookie on that. They threw up the Immortality. Mookie threw up the Immortality field. Akua put the wall in front of it, which didn't block it off. It kept NoFlex alive, but then, of course, Feedgood wasn't able to take down the Immortality field. That Orisa was not going down anytime soon, and that's what allowed them to finish off that fight. We see them back up on the high ground. This is where they started, and they're smartly rotated back around towards the back of the point. The last attack, we'll see if they choose to do the same thing again.
And that was almost an early pick for them right there. They're going to go ahead and move straight into the objective once more. The wall ends up separating out a majority of the team, though, and not able to touch the point is Akua. Mango ends up getting the pick on Elysian, though, as the Amplification Matrix coming out. Mango takes down Frizzy, trying to hold on as Cater Todd and OG Moon get picked from behind, but it's not going to be enough. Oh goodness, they're continuing to get picks right there. And it's down to the tanks right now as we see OG Moon trying to hold on for dear life with barely any health, is able to escape and get back into the objective. Now separated out is Destroyer and NoFlex. Ends up getting picked off very early by Elysian, and that's going to be control of objective one. Oh no! Oh, just barely. NoFlex trying to touch the objective, but not able to get away. Mango able to get the pick onto Dragon that was trying to chase down NoFlex, and they're going to end up separating out the team, getting back to either side of this choke point as they start their payload push.
Yeah, no forward aggression possible here from Feed. Direwolves didn't get back in time, but it will allow them to contest in this doorway here. And we'll see what Feedgood chooses to use here. Both teams had a lot of ults as the Dragon invested first, countered by the sound barrier.
The Shatter comes down, but so does the Blizzard. Ends up coming in with the Halt to take them all into the middle. Not able to escape. Mango getting the triple kill right there with the help of the rest of the team. The only one able to get away is going to be Elysian as they go ahead and prepare for another push.
Yeah, only 2 Involt ultimates invested by both sides there, but Direwolves coming off a lot stronger. The Dragon to split up the attacking team, and then that Blizzard to finish them off. And we see, this rotation has been spotted out. Sonic Arrow is finding
where they're at.
But an interesting choice. I like it.
I find it interesting that they're not going for the payload. Blizzard coming down. Oh, they're going to get the picks first. Akua able to take down OG, and the Transcendence from Trust is going to keep everything going, not going to be able to move in and do the damage they need to. Barriers going down as the Maywall goes up. Mookie able to take them down with that amplification matrix. Mango's going to follow up on Tegs, and that is going to be another hold of the objective. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
And we're going to keep saying this name, Akua coming up big there. A great wall, cut off the supports from Feed Good. Even though they had the Blizzard out onto the defending team, they weren't able to get any follow-up of it. And look at this positioning from Direwolves now. They've got 4 ultimates available, and they're set up on the cart.
And the Bongo's already coming out right there. Here comes the Halt, trying to take down Frizzy, and will end up being successful as Mookie ends up getting that pick. No Flex following up on Dragon, and again, they're just all falling down right now. The only one that's anywhere is Cater Tot, and nobody knows that they're up on the high ground yet. So this should be interesting to see how this goes down, if they can pick off that high noon before it picks someone off on their team.
They're probably looking for Trust and or Mookie here. Those will be the critical picks. And for the side of Feedgood, they've got a couple of ultimates. They've got the High Noon. They've got the Deadeye of their own. But I'm not really sure how much effectiveness that's going to have against the double barrier. Particularly when you're going to be facing a Dragon and a Blizzard as well, and you've got to be in the open to use that ability. It's going to be very difficult for Cater to get any benefit off that.
To start things off, and it looks like the Blizzard's coming out in return. It looks like we're going to see Cater Tot try to go for that. Oh no, they used the Blizzard to escape. They didn't even use it to try to take anybody out, which is indeed also a good strategy.
Akua and Mango got cut down as soon as the Blizzard went out, so they weren't really able to. They didn't have any damage there to follow it up. So in the end, I think only the Supercharger, maybe the Transcendence invested for Feedgood, but ultimately a good fight. They finally managed to make their way through this choke point. So it is definitely a great defensive position from Direwolves here. The Dragon goes straight down the street.
Ooh. I don't know how I mean, Dragon ended up getting taken out there, but it was almost like I almost felt like that was kind of a miscommunication for the side of Direwolves right there. Maywall separating out either side as the amplification matrix coming out for either side as well. Fat
Oh, what no
coming
down
before the Maywall is able to take them down. Ends up getting the pick as OG Moon onto Mango, as Tag's able to follow up on Trust and No Flex. That's going to go ahead and give them objective number 2 as they move into number 3 with just about a minute and a half on the clock.
I think you're right there about a miscommunication. Not something we typically see from Direwolves, but throwing the Gravitic Flux and the Dragon at the same time did diminish the effects of the Dragon, and I think that little mistake there is what allowed Feedgood to push through here, and it's given them an opening to finish this map off.
That's true, and Cater Tot ended up using the High Noon. I'm not even for certain when that ended up going down.
Probably for a reload.
I'm guessing so, but the Blizzard's coming out for OG Moon, looking to see if they can get that pick, but Trust is going to use that Transcendence to keep everyone up regardless. Amplification Matrix now coming out for Elysian as Teague's able to take down Mango. Bongo's now coming out as well, as we see Frizzy getting frozen up. Oh no! The Blizzard coming out in return for Akua after getting picked up by Frizzy. They are not going to be able to hold on. That's a quad kill make that a quintuple and the reset. That's going to be a team kill, ringing loud and proud for the side of Team Direwolves as they hold objective 3 with 40 seconds left on the clock.
And they've only got the Transcendence coming into this next fight. They may get the High Noon and the Earth Shatter built up, but they are running into a Supercharger, a Coalescence. Direwolves in a fantastic position here. They can defend forward as well. Feedgood will have to come through them to touch the cart. Although, as I say that, Direwolves does fall back a little bit to the cart. Oh, there you go. The Supercharger protected by the wall. The Coalescence out as well. This could spell...
Maywall separating out the use of the Coalescence right there. Trying to see if they can get a pick, but the Immortality Field keeping them up regardless. Mango working in that backline. Took down Caterbot as the Transcendence now popped for Dragon. Looking to see if they can get some picks, but No Flex ends up getting the double. Gravitic Flux makes the Sigma 9, and that's going to be it for this objective, folks. Not going to be able to get back in enough time. 54.93 meters on the cart after objective 2 for the side of Feedgood Incorporated.
You're not going to feel too bad about that as Feedgood, though. They got further than they perhaps should have. Direwolves messing up that last fight on point B. Though, God, I guess not to say that it's a definite for the Direwolves. Definitely a defensible position for Feedgood. You have the chance to stall out on point A, get the full hold there. B, the second point, can be notoriously difficult to attack, especially if you get a hold near the end. It's a long way for the attackers to run from point A to point B. So definitely opportunities here for Feedgood. And we've also seen that they're able to get the better of some of these fights. Direwolves getting a little bit sloppy with their ultimate usage. Overall, still fantastic, but yeah. So I think it will definitely come down to how Feedgood have they, as the match has been going on, have they been warming up? Have they been getting in tune with each other? And will they be able to use the ultimates a bit more effectively than they have been so far?
I'm not even going to look at Direwolves right now because that seems absolute. So for Feedgood, they're coming in with a mirror comp to what we saw for the side of Direwolves on the defense, looking to see if they can get those early picks. OG Moon going to use that wall to try to separate out the team very early on. If this is what Direwolves are going to come out with, because they haven't swapped yet, nobody's swapped off of it, I'm going to be interested to see how this works.
Hey, Ryan Winston. That's not something you see, I was going to say any day, but ever.
Genji Tracer, and Mookie coming in on the Ana. This is... I don't know what this meta is, but it's definitely got my attention.
Smart, though, kind of negating the effect of the wall from OG Moon here. You've got a lot of heroes that can just get around it or get back if they need to.
No
flex, very aggressive.
The tackle, Dragon's already out of the fight as the immortality field goes up. OG Moon able to return the favor, but Destroyer working in the back line, just taking down everybody. Elysian, Frizzy, Mango Falls, Cater Tot, the only one left on the objective right now is OG Moon. As they fight on top of the wall, they're going to get picked off by Destroyer as well, and that's going to be a shutdown of the objective. 3 minutes off on the clock as we see Team Direwolves grab objective Alpha.
Dragon definitely not expecting the flanking Reinhardt to come charging in at them from the side there. And Direwolves in a great position. They've also got the heroes they've got. You normally see it. What?
Destroyer with the Fire Strike takes down OG Moon, who was trying to get no flex with.
And now around the back,
that's the precision. Goodness gracious. And they're just leading it in. They're just going to pick them off one by one as we now see Cater Tot back out as the Reaper getting tackled by Destroyer. What is this? It's almost like it's like a dive with Ryan, and I've just lost my mind at this point because I don't know how to feel about this.
You've got to remember, Ryan does have a dive button. Normally teams don't like to use it. You yell at if you use it on ladder. But in the case of the Destroyer, they're making great use of that aggression that the way they like to play. And we saw that was a brilliant wraparound. We saw the Fire Strike from Destroyer come through, hit the support line of Feedgood, and then NoFlex just followed up a simple jump on, use that Tesla cannon, able to annihilate Dragon straight away, and that was that fight over again.
Oh, but here comes the Nano Blade! Oh, but the immortality field holds up. Oh, but not enough. Mango, NoFlex, and Akua able to get the quad, make that quintuple. That's objective 2 taken. 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Feedgood in a rough spot now. They do have a few ultimates available to them, though. I was saying that Direwolves has some as well, so it'll come down to the use of the Blizzard and maybe the Amp Matrix from Elysian as well, which will decide their fate here. They need to stabilize. They have not the attacking team, has not stopped at all on this map. So Feedgood need to come out. The Amp Matrix is the first thing to come out, as well as the Supercharger.
Frizzy able to take down Mango, and Destroyer also falling. Cater Tot able to pick off Mookie in the back line, but NoFlex gonna able to fall Cater Tot before they can escape. Tags able to get the double right there at the end. Looking in the chat, Ditto's saying that this is called Rhine Dive, and the Rhine is a distraction.
Distraction? I don't. If the distraction's getting all the kills, I'm pretty sure the distraction.
I know, like Ryan's just coming out of nowhere, getting these like random tackles. but I guess that makes sense. Like, if you're focused on the Rhine that's in front of you, you're not going to be focused on the rest of the team that's diving around you. As we see now, Mango swapping over to the Doomfist, Noflex and Destroyer able to get him. Shatter comes in, ends up getting 3, but the Blizzard holding the team off for now as they continue to try to clean up on the objective. Sleep Start comes in on Cater Tot, gets picked off by Mango, and with 4 minutes left on the clock, they've got to do something. Frizzy and Teeks coming in. Teeks getting sleep darted on the high ground, and that's it. Direwolves walking away with the victory tonight, 3-0 against Feed Good Incorporated.
Yeah, great primal rage at the end from Noflex as well. Forced all the defenders away, and that's what got the card there. But really, in that final, we saw them stabilize finally. But fortunately, in that final fight, the Blizzard and the Coalescence for Feed Good came out a little too late to make any impact, and from there, Direwolves just walked the card in, and that was. I think inevitably that was the story of the match today. Direwolves just far too strong, far too coordinated. They come in with the strats, they come in with the great comms, and yeah, they showed why they were undefeated during the regular season.
Yeah, they did.
Tough ask.
And I'm looking in the chat right now, and apparently this is a signature comp for Direwolves. Like, this is something that they run literally to throw the other team off their game. And it worked, like, unbelievably worked with this, because how do you fight a composition like that? Like, you have the Rhine and the Ana supporting each other as the slowest characters in the match, but then you have the rest of the comp being Dive, being able to move around and just do so much throughout this. I'm just a little, like, beside myself that this worked out so well, but it just really goes to show the coordination that Direwolves has to be able to pull something like this off. So good on you, Direwolves. But if anyone's paying attention, I'm sure that the chat is filled with people that are watching and being prepared for those semifinals as you move on. Oh, it looks like Canis Latrans is going to be the next team to face off against Team Direwolves. So I hope Canis is in the chat, paying attention and making sure that they are ready to go for this match. But for now, let's go ahead and throw up some players of the match. You want to go ahead and start us off there, Temporal?
I think the name that kept coming up over and over again for Direwolves was Akua. Just amazing work, particularly on the May, on most of these maps. Fantastic walls, effectively cutting off Feed Good multiple times. Saw some fantastic uses of Blizzard as well. And also we saw the Symmetra come out as well, and that was put to great work. The teleport to get onto the point on Hanamura, setting up those turrets, saw that the 100% charged beams as well, tearing through the defense, and it was on that ridiculously fast Hanamura attack. So I think that is the name that sticks out for me tonight.
Well, I think I'm going to have to give up some healer love tonight for Trust, because not only were we seeing some amazing heals from them both on the Zenyatta, the Lucio, and the Mercy during Lijiang Tower, but Trust on that Zenyatta not only being clutch with the Transcendences throughout every Blizzard that came down, but also just the shots that they were making as well as Zenyatta. I was seeing multiple charge shots, just if not taking down someone, at least getting them low enough that the rest of the team was able to pick them off. Just the incredible positioning, being able to support the team. I would imagine calling out discords in their chat to make sure that they knew who they were picking off. So Trust, you're walking away with my player of the match for this evening. And I gotta verify something in the chat that I just saw, because I did not check this before we started. They're wondering if Direwolves even dropped a match in the season.
No, they didn't. Well, they couldn't have, because they went undefeated.
Well, just because they went undefeated doesn't mean that they didn't drop a match.
Hang on, you say match or map?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
don't think they did. If they went 12 times 4 would be 48. So I think they'd have a plus 48 map differential, wouldn't they?
That's
if they hadn't
true.
dropped the map.
Interesting. All right. So it looks like they did drop some maps along the way. But for the most part, it is interesting to see this go down the way that it did. Feedgood getting the 3-0 last week and then just again being turned around by Team Direwolves. Looking in the chat, it looks like Trust has joined the chat there, giving some love to Trust as a Seventura, and Wumpa Fruit giving some love to Trust there. And it looks like that's about it for the most part. So that's going to be it for us tonight. Going to later on this weekend, our next matchup is going to be, give me just a second to pull it up
Is it
here.
a Diamond
Semifinals between Wisdom Overwatch and Title Esports Unagi tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. So if you're interested in checking that out, apparently that was the only time that worked for them, and that's the only match that we have for the evening. So we're going to try to get you as much playoffs matches as we can as are people available. So be sure to check that out tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next week, um, this is going to be interesting because technically we were supposed to end next week, but everything's going to have to end before the holidays. So be ready to see a lot of stuff get ready to go down. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish out the season before the holidays. If not, we might have to postpone some stuff between Christmas and New Year's, as well as other holidays that our teams probably celebrate as well. So be sure to check out everything going on by punching that bell at the top of your screen, as well as hitting that heart. You can also hit that subscription button, as we saw earlier this evening from A7Tura. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some awesome badges, some awesome emotes, and support our wonderful community. So be sure to check in all that action as well. With that being said, thank you so much to First Night of Knee for running our production tonight. You always do such an incredible job for us. We're eternally grateful to have you. And that's going to be it for us here at the Rose Cup. My name's Captain Jack.
I've been Temporal, and thank you and good night.